So just got done seeing The Flash, and it was astonishingly bad. I, I really could not believe how bad it was, and it mostly comes down to the script. There's so many things I could talk about the movie, but if I really get into how bad it is, into any details, obviously I reach spoiler territory. But I didn't like Ezra Miller's acting. I did not care for his acting whatsoever. So many scenes did not make any sense. I kept on questioning things that should not have mattered in the long run. A tooth got knocked out, and how that was handled seemed just idiotic to me. Just simple things like that. And the rules, who knows what they are. Things happen to people's bodies in this movie that just makes zero sense. I don't care. It's hard to find words at how bad this is, because it was painful to watch. The audience, once again, felt like they were just sitting there watching stuff happen. And there was one time where there was maybe 3 people who chuckled at something. The comedy is atrocious. There must be 200 attempts at jokes in this, and none of them land. Not in the slightest. The only time that the audience showed any emotion whatsoever was when, oh yeah, one of the cameos happened that was already spoiled beforehand. Great. It meant nothing in this movie, and even if I was into the movie, I don't know. It was one of those cameos that I don't think the actor was even involved. I think they just CGI'd it, and that was it. A lot. Speaking of the CGI, yes, it's really bad. It takes me out of the movie. I mean, I was never really into the movie to begin with, but the CGI never helped whatsoever. Action scenes were boring. The end action scene just dragged on and on and on. There was dumb character decisions, stuff that made no sense throughout. The acting was atrocious. I mean, I don't know if it was the script. I mean, the script was awful. There's no denying that, but I don't know if the way that everyone acted was as badly written as it was how they acted it, or if that was the direction or what. But can maybe someone explain to me why there were so many stupid people in the movie, and why people acted the way that they acted? I didn't quite get that, because it felt like you were in some bizarro world where it was almost like idiocracy, but then some things didn't change and other things did change. Just whatever suited the plot at the time that the movie was going on worked. I mean, if this needed to be the same in order for the next scene to happen, then it was going to remain the same. But if something else needed something else to happen, then they would just change something else about this other character and change that, and then things would happen. Why did this one character know how to heal this other person? How do they know what to do? I just got done seeing the movie, and there's about 10,000 things rolling around in my head about all the terrible things that I experienced, and I know if I say any of them, then it's not the right place in this video. This is for me just to get my quick thoughts out there, and if I feel strongly enough, I might make a video where I actually go into the spoilers a lot more, and that probably all depends on how much the audience react to it, because if a whole bunch of people seemingly say that it's one of the best movies of the year, it's one of the greatest superhero movies, then that's just going to prompt me more and more and more to try and make a video about all the terrible things about the movie. And I really don't want to do that, because I don't like talking too much about stuff that I do not like. But if I have to have a voice of reason out there, because I don't feel enough people have the same voice of reason that I have, then I'll do it. And it's one of those things to where I don't feel that it's a movie that I just don't like because it's not for me, and I can see why other people might like it. I cannot see why anyone would like this movie. Yeah, there's fun stuff that happens because certain characters show up and they do their thing and they say their classic line, and then there's some stuff that happens, and if you kind of break down the movie and say, well, this happens and this happens and this happens, and the end, then yeah, that sounds good, but how everything happens and all the characters that you have to sit through and watch, and the dialogue that you have to listen to, and the dialogue scenes that get left on the editing room floor because it seems like they try to rush through anything dialogue worthy, and then when it comes to other things, then just gloat on it. Just really, really just, spend the time showing stupid things. Like at the very beginning when the building is collapsing, that was a whole waste of time, a whole bunch of slow motion. Yeah, we get it. Oh, that's funny. But then when important stuff needs to happen, that doesn't matter. Just get on to the next thing. And there were so many times where when you deal with a movie with time travel, you need to know the rules, and you need to understand the consequences. And there were so many times in this movie where I was wondering if the consequences were explained in the dialogue and they made sense, but then it got to a point where so many things did not make sense that I knew that it was just everything kept going back to a terrible script. So we'll see if I come up with another video to really go into the details about this one, but I did not enjoy myself, and the only reason why I sat through the entire thing was because I could actually write a review and put my honest opinions out there that I think other people who have clouded eyes when they watch these movies cannot articulate. But I'm going to try to do my best to articulate everything, because I had to sit through the entire movie to be able to reach the point where I could actually write a review. Because if anyone saw my anything about Dungeons and Dragons a couple months ago, I walked out of that movie halfway through and I did not write a review afterwards because I didn't watch the entire thing. But yeah. So until next time, hopefully there's more positive things to say.